Hey guys, welcome back to another video on my channel. Today we are back in, once again, another update video for the Deeper Dark Dimension mod. So like I said, on the last Friday of every month, I will be uploading a video to cover what's new in the update. The update will be dropping the same day this video goes live, so hopefully it should be on CurseForge if they obviously accept it in time. So let's now jump to what is new, as there is a lot. So the first thing that is new is this item right here, the Deeper Dark Exit Orb. Now what this basically is, it's a way to leave the Deeper Dark, because I noticed that there was a huge thing about leaving. How you leave is you have to complete advancements. Now, you can only obviously complete advancements once per world, and to actually get the portal blocks to leave the dimension, you need to complete advancements, which means you can only technically build one portal, and then you're basically stuck there. And then every time you go into the Deeper Dark from there, you always need to locate that portal again, which is kind of annoying, especially if you want to explore. So now, this Deeper Dark Orb will solve that, and upon right-clicking it in the overworld, it does say you have to be in the Deeper Dark to use this, so you cannot use it to go into the Deeper Dark. Now also with this change, we have actually added two new statistics. It is actually right here, as you can see, entered Deeper Dark and exited Deeper Dark. Whenever you enter the Deeper Dark, that will go up. Whenever you exit the Deeper Dark, that one will go up. And that is basically how this is obtained. So, if I quickly just clear this from my inventory, the first ever time you go into the Deeper Dark, you will not get one, because that is basically, you need to get the resources to build your portal to escape. So as you can see, I'm now in the Deeper Dark, and I did not get an exit orb. If I was to now actually leave, if I now go into the actual Deeper Dark again, you will notice that there is now actually a orb in my inventory. And basically how that works is every time you go into the Deeper Dark, after the first time you exit, you'll always be given a Deeper Dark exit orb, no matter what. The next new thing that I want to cover is the new ores. As you can see, there is now sturdy stone versions of every single ore type, so you can actually find normal ores within this dimension. Because before the dimension felt a bit plain, the coal is very weird looking, but that is because it's obviously a black looking texture. But all of them look really cool, and these work like normal ores and deep slate ores. Upon mining them, they'll drop the ore, but also you can silk touch them to actually get the block. And these spawn all around the Deep Dark in different areas like they do in the overworld. The actual block to get your portal out of it has now been updated with a new texture. It's now the reinforced deep slate texture with the sturdy stone block in the middle, just to make it fit with the obviously ruined or reinforced deep slate overworld portal. So this is now how you escape. You obviously get these blocks from achievements. So before we cover the new entities within this update, I quickly want to cover this chest. This is a chest that can be found around structures within the Deeper Dark, and this is not a normal chest. It does not have a inventory. As you can see, me right-clicking it, the chest is too heavy to open it. Try breaking it, and that is the only way to actually get loot out of it. You have to actually break it. This obviously don't have no loot in it, but as you can see, if I break it, then any loot inside will pop out. And currently, at this point in time, there is no way to get this chest to use it for yourself in your own decorative builds. That might change in the future, but I'll show you a bit more about that chest in a second. Let's now cover the mobs. First few sets of mobs are overworld mobs, but they have been skulkified, kind of. So the first one is, let's quickly just sell it to nighttime. The first one is the Murky Zombie, and this is just a cyan looking zombie with a red t-shirt. You then got the Murky Skeleton, which is once again a cyan looking skeleton. All these mobs spawn around the Deeper Dark at random locations in the darkness. We then got the Murky Spider, which is once again a cyan looking spider. One thing to note about all these mobs as well, the actual drops they drop are the same as the overworld variants, but they drop more of what they drop in the overworld. So if this spider in the overworld was to drop 2 string, that would be doubled within this spider drop. We then also have the Murky Creeper, which as you can see is a cyan looking creeper. And the last actually carried over mob is the Murky Slime, which as you can see right here is actually very cool looking. It's like a skulk orb in the center with then skulk padding around the outside. These work like normal slimes. Upon killing them, they will shrink into the smaller version until obviously they do die. These actual skulk slimes drop skulk balls, which can be used to craft a load of different skulk-based items. I'll cover more about that in a second. So now let's cover the two new mobs that are not in Minecraft. The first one is the Skulkling. This is a skulk sensor that has grown legs, and as you can see, it waddles around like a spider. It will also attack the player, and if the player causes vibrations, as you can see, the vibrations will be sent to the actual skulk sensor. Now, a few things to know about skulk sensor. This is one of the first updates to it. This is going to be improved a lot in future updates. A few plans we have for it is it will eventually alert the Warden about you being here and either summon the Warden or tell the Warden you're here for the Warden to then come and attack you. And we also do have a lot of changes coming for a structure and all that, which we'll announce in hopefully the next update. And finally, the last mob in this version, well actually there are two more mobs, but they're not completely finished. They can actually spawn around, and I'll show them maybe in a second, but they're not completely finished, so I'm not really going to talk about them too much. But the final mob that is finished is the Merker. This is a actually pigling based mob. The actual Merker will trade with you or barter if you give them a actual echo shard. So if I throw that on the floor there, as you can see, it will pick the echo shard up. That's a bug. And it'll basically give you random items related to the Deeper Dark in return. As you can see, that one gave me some sturdy stone. If I give it another one, it will give me something else. I think the actual model is really cool. I like it. It's meant to be a weird skulk mob that has randomly spawned. The other actual entity that is being added is Murky Squid. This one isn't finished, and it actually uses the texture for the Minecraft squid, but when you actually punch this entity, it goes invisible for a split second, so it can actually escape from you. But once again, this entity isn't finished, and it shouldn't spawn naturally just yet. And the other mob is the sensor bug. As you can see, once again, the model isn't completed, neither is the texture, and neither is the actual animations. Now, a few other things that have been added is the skulk sapling. This is a sapling that can basically just grow the skulk tree. So if I just grab some bone meal and bone meal that, as you can see, it just grows the casual skulk tree, so you can get the skulk logs and leaves, and these actually do drop from the leaves. Same as a new item called the Black Apple. This is a apple, but it's better. It gives you more saturation and more hunger than a normal apple. And then we did also add the Murky Vines. These work like twisted vines. Another thing we have added is, obviously we had skulk infested planks in the last update. We have now added slabs, stairs, pressure plates, buttons, trapdoors, doors, fences and fence gates, just so they match up with the overworld planks. So you can now actually decorate with these a bit more if you like the bluish color. And once again, a sturdy stone to match the overworld stone. It now has slabs, stairs, pressure plates and buttons for it. Now coming to the next set of items, we've got the Warden Heart Fragment. This is a item you can actually get very rarely from the Warden. It's a bit more common than getting a wither skeleton skull from a wither skeleton, but obviously you have to kill the Warden for this. And this is a item currently only used for one thing, and that one thing is to make this sonic staff. Now I am just going to quickly mention this actual crafting recipe is subject to change because this is an OP item, this sonic staff. So currently, the actual crafting recipe is like this. So it actually uses 1 Warden Heart Fragment, 2 Skulk Balls, 2 Captured Souls, which are gotten from the actual Warden by right-clicking a glass bottle on it, and then 2 Skulk Infested Logs. And that gives you 1 Sonic Staff. And what this basically Sonic Staff does is, if you actually are in survival mode and you right-click it, it will charge up like a bow does, and when you actually let go of it, it will do the Sonic or the Warden's Sonic Boom attack. Now, it does have durability. As you can see, it has 384 durability, you losing 1 durability every single time. And it does also have a cooldown of 15 seconds after you actually use it before you can use it again. Now, there is another thing about this, and it does do 5 damage to entities, which is 2.5 hearts. You can actually up that damage from 2.5 hearts to 5 hearts with a enchantment. The enchantment is called Supersonic, And upon actually applying that to the Sonic Staff through an anvil, so if we quickly just throw that on there like that, as you can see, it now has the Supersonic enchantment. This will now do 5 hearts instead of the original 2.5 hearts. So you can basically make it more OP by adding the enchantment. The enchantment can be found within ancient city chests, also structures within the actual Deeper Dark, or it can actually be very rarely from the Merca trades. And there is one more enchantment added in this update, and that is called Sonic Damage. Sonic Damage is from levels 1 to levels 5, and this is a sharpness enchantment, but for the Warden. So applying this to your sword will actually make you deal more damage to skulk-based mobs, the Warden, and also all the mobs within the Deeper Dark, so all the murky mobs. So that is a very good enchantment if you're actually within the Deeper Dark exploring, because you absolutely wreck the Warden with it. I think with a Skulk Gem sword and a level 5 enchantment, I think you do like 40 hearts of damage to the Warden. The last thing before we show off the actual Sturdy Stone chest, the actual crafting recipe for the Skulk Ball. It can be used to make a skulk block. It can also be used to make a skulk sensor like that. And it can also be used to make a skulk catalyst like that. Now there's actually one block I forgot about within this update, and that is murky bricks. This is a blue version of stone bricks, so as you can see, this actually spawns around one of the structures, so let me now show them off. I did also forgot to mention the way the actual friendly Warden is obtained now. That is the Warden you can actually tame as your own pet to help you fight, is now gotten by right-clicking a Echo Shard on a Warden, and as you can see, it will shrink it, pacify it. And anyway, let's now cover the new structures within this update. The first one, right here, is the Murky Well. This is a deep slate version of the Desert Well. It does also spawn with the actual darkness fluid, which when you go in it, it gives you the darkness effect. And there is a secret. As you can see, it looks like there's nothing actually here. But if you break a few blocks, you can see there is a sturdy stone chest. Once again, if you try and right click this, it says that the chest is too heavy to open. Try breaking it. And if you actually break the chest, as you can see, the actual loot it has within it does drop onto the floor. The next structure is right here. This is the vanilla version of the spawners. But instead of the normal zombie skeleton and spider, it has the murky zombie skeleton and spider in it. As you can see, this is the murky spider. Once again, using these chests, you have to actually break them for the loot. And this just contains the original dungeon loot. And the actual final structure is this thing right here, which was the structure we actually saw in the first ever time we saw the Warden announced. It's just a little tiny wooden cabin with some oak, stripped oak logs. It has some barrels here that are empty, a blast furnace, some candles, and then once again some more chests which upon breaking them they have ancient city loot. We did also fix a lot of bugs that I can't actually remember what exactly bugs we fixed. One that I do know about is it will no longer rain within the Deeper Dark dimension. That was a bug before where you could just randomly hear it start raining, although you couldn't sleep or anything to get rid of it. So now that's no longer the case. You will no longer hear rain within this dimension. Another bug we fixed is the actual way to get the captured Warden head now is you have to actually kill a friendly Warden. If you have any feedback on this Sonic Staff, be sure to let me know in the comments. In my Discord, we had a lot of debates on how to actually make this, so it wasn't too weak, but it wasn't also too OP, because a lot of the things we actually came up with, it would mean that either it was too complicated to work, or it was too actually easy and OP. But anyway, that is where I'm going to end this video. If you do have any suggestions or feedback, make sure to let me know, and I guess I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.